Hello, my name is Kishore Mahbubani. I'm a distinguished fellow at the Asia Research Institute, National University of Singapore, and a former Singapore ambassador to the UN. It's my great pleasure to deliver a message to the Global Young Leaders program on the subject of poverty reduction, multilateral cooperation, and international trade. The three subjects are linked. Poverty reduction. It's actually quite amazing how successful humanity has been in reducing poverty. 200 years ago, over 90% of the world's population used to live in extreme poverty. Today, less than 10% do so. And why is that so? The answer is that poverty has been reduced because of international trade. Let me give you three examples. In China in 1992, China's total trade was $166 billion, and the percentage living in absolute poverty was 56.7%. But by 2018, China's total trade had risen to $4.6 trillion, a nearly 28 times increase, and its poverty came down to less than 0.5%. Similarly, Vietnam in 1992, its total trade came to US $5.1 billion, and the percentage of population living below poverty stood at 52%. But today, Vietnam's total trade has gone up to $527 billion, a 100 times increase, and at the same time, the population living below poverty declined 26 times to below 1.9%. Similarly, in India, India's total trade stood at US $45 billion in 1992, poverty rate 47.6%. By 2018, its total trade had risen to $940 billion, and poverty had fallen to below 7%. So the data is clear. Indeed, the former Secretary General of the UN, Kofi Annan, has said, trade is better than aid if we want to reduce poverty. But the next question is, how did we see such a massive increase in international trade? And the simple answer is that in 1945, after World War II, the world created a wonderful rules-based order based on the family of United Nations institutions. And indeed, the World Trade Organization is part of the UN family of institutions. So if any young person was to ask my advice on how we can create a better world, I would say that you don't have to reinvent the wheel at all. Just go back to the 1945 UN institutions and make them stronger. And indeed, when I was ambassador to the UN, I always said that the UN Charter that was published or created in 1945 is a truly beautiful document. And all young people should read this document to understand how wonderfully the United Nations was created and what sound principles it has. Sadly, many Western countries, especially the United States, have turned against the United Nations. And this is why I hope that the Eastern countries, especially Asian countries, which have benefited the most from global growth and especially growth in international trade, should become the leaders in strengthening multilateral institutions. This is why I want to wish your conference a great success. If young leaders in China could take the lead in strengthening global multilateral institutions, the world will be a much better place. Thank you very much.